Good morning, Sarge. Top of the morning. Top of the morning to the one and only amazing group of supporters who make all things Wildcat Sanctuary possible. Welcome all, come one, come all. It is another live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. I am in Wildcat Pines. This is where a majority of our rescue bobcats live. That is Bobcat Sarge. In the background, we might see Bobcat Morgan and Bobcat Copper, who are doing a little socializing along their shared wall. And yeah, we're going to spend some time with our medium-sized rescues today. So, welcome Maria Elise, Sherry V's here, Tanya Toner's here, our neighbor from Wisconsin. Hey, Tanya. Belinda Dissinger checking in, watching this live post from the bus, your daily commute. Jerry L is here. Oh, there's Miss Aria coming to say hi to me for a moment. And up she goes, springing onto her platform and then onto her skywalk system, which is a feature that you'll see on pretty much all of the habitats that we'll check in on today here in Wildcat Pines. As I mentioned, this is where a majority of our rescued bobcats live. What are bobcats doing in the wild? They're climbers. They're wanting to take advantage of that vertical space, and your support here at the Wildcat Sanctuary allows us to make sure that even though they're not able to take advantage of the vertical space in the wild, they're able to do it here in a captive environment. And that's a pretty sweet deal, Mr. Sarge. That's a pretty sweet deal. Some of the UTVs are kind of buzzing off here, so that might be a little bit easier for everyone to hear me. But welcome, everyone. Good afternoon from Ann McKinney. Glad to have you with us, Ann. Let's see, Mondovi high up on his skywalk as well. You can see Aria is up near the front there. I'm going to keep on welcoming some folks, and then we're going to shake and move. We're going to check in on some of the medium rescues here in Wildcat Pines, and surely talk all things deCAThalon as well. Soraya, buenas tardes. Good to have you with us. I saw you comment on the Ukraine Pride video yesterday and was thinking to myself that it had been a while since I'd seen you in our comment section. So glad to have you back. Cheryl Hardin's here. Hey, Cheryl. Thanks for joining us. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day to everyone as well. Halfway through the week. And truthfully, halfway through the week, closing up the month of January, and it's kind of was drizzling this morning. It's above freezing today. I think it's going to be above freezing, yikes, up until about the 1st of February. So definitely not the most January feeling temps for 2024. Let's see if I can go around the corner and check in on Bobcat Morgan, Bobcat Copper. Copper and Archer are two neighboring bobcats who live next to Sarge, who we're just seeing here. Morgan, who I mentioned, as well as Glenn the bobcat. And well, Morgan likes to have, and we like that. She likes to have her cake and eat it too, as it were. And so she's got two handsome bobcats who she lives with. And like I said, she wants to have her cake and eat it too, and she likes garnering the attention of the two handsome bobcats living next to her as well. So she is fawned upon by all of the bobs that surround her, and that makes Morgan very happy. Well, where in the world did those two crazy boys go? I just put out some catnip for Copper. I saw him walking next to Morgan along their shared wall. I'm kind of looking in the tree. Sometimes Archer likes getting way up in his trees. Well, that's something else. I guess maybe they jumped in their indoor bedroom for a moment. And I didn't hear the caretakers come by either, so that's interesting. I'm gonna catch up on some comments too. I truthfully always need to kind of keep safety top of mind, and there's Archer. And whenever I'm in Wildcat Pines, certainly just everywhere, keeping it top of mind, but Wildcat Pines, knowing that typically there's pairs or multiples within the habitats. Bobcats are incredibly fast, as you know, and great climbers and reachers as well. So certainly something that I appreciate everyone's patience if I'm not maybe as vigilant as reading the comments, because I'm remaining vigilant for pouncing bobs. Hey Rosie P, thanks for joining us today. Good morning. And this is Bobcat Archer, who we're seeing his beautiful back end in this tube here. Looks like he's kind of making his way out slowly but surely. I can kind of tell he's in a little bit of a goofy mood. I think him and Copper are playing a little bit of a game of tag right now. But embarrassed to say that Copper was hanging out right here a moment right before I started the live post. I saw him and Morgan walking around, and poof, off he goes. Such is the life of a bobcat like Copper, who likes to drink in the tub. I love that, Copper. Scanning Francis, Belvedere, and Autumn's habitat over here. I already kind of confirmed Autumn over on that far part of the skywalk, but it's cool to think that as we find Francis on this far edge of the skywalk, that Francis can navigate all the way over to his surrogate brother Autumn from right here on this part of the skywalk. It extends all the way through the habitat. I'd probably say that with exception of Henry and Haley's habitat down in Feline Meadows, another pair of rescue bobs, that the skywalk system here in the Bobcat Trio's habitat is probably the most complex, and I really love it. And I guess maybe I shouldn't tell tales out of school. Shazam really has a great skywalk system as well that will extend the full length of his habitat as well. I always kind of make the joke that if we all used to play the game on the playground that don't touch the ground, it's lava, that the cats are easily able to play that, the ones with skywalks, as they can navigate their whole habitat without touching the ground. That was a good stretch, Mr. Handsome Boy. And even though it's not feeling much like winter, you're looking pretty wintry up there. You're looking pretty wintry up there. Nice and fluffy. I'm going to go through some comments while I have a beautiful Francis as my backdrop here, and he's being nice and patient with me. As Francis, he doesn't mind humans. He just isn't too keen on them, or maybe doesn't seek out their attention. But as long as he's still kind of keeping his eyes closed, he's not vocalizing or anything, we'll hang out with him. So hey, Pamela D, thanks for joining us. Calling Francis a lovely kitty. He certainly is. Kim K checking in, saying hello to the TWS family. Hey, Kim. Chizzy Lovell here. Hey, Chizzy. Kelly Howe saying good morning to myself and Olivia in TWS. Hey, Kelly. Top of the morning to ya. That's right, Faith. Very floofy, Francis. Daria checking in. Hey, Judson and gorgeous Bobs. Glad to have you, Daria. Hope all is well in Chicagoland. See Soraya poking into the comments again. Deborah saying, hi, Archer. Judson found you. That I did, Mr. Archer. And I'll give you your space. Another typical hangout spot for the Bobcat Trio. I want to be cautious because sometimes the internet can kick my butt. But another typical hangout spot going to be with me. Come on, internet. I gotta go. You know what? It might not be worth the heartache, Mr. Autumn. I scared that my internet's gonna give out on me. Retreat! Retreat! Oh, big U-turn. We're heading back to where the internet grass is green. I just always am so thankful for the level of patience that you all have when it comes to, for better or for worse, kind of being restricted by our internet connection. But just wanted to do a U-turn there. There's Bobcat Glenn. Talk about cats taking advantage of their skywalks, and one thing that I should have mentioned, along with Francis, here's Mr. Sarge cruising around too. One thing that I should have mentioned with Francis, oh wow, talk about deCAThalon. That was a high jump for a little bobcat like you, Mr. Sarge. is that a bobcat like Sarge here, he's a little bit more social. He's a little bit more understanding of, you know, kind of how humans play into his life, as opposed to Glenn. You know, he's a little bit more standoffish and cautious when it comes to humans. And here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, that is totally fine for a cat like Glenn to feel that way. And not only do we do things like modifying Glenn's care, but it goes as it's as simple as things like that skywalk back there. Glenn can get as far away from me as he can feel like. He can get up off the ground as he wants to, and it really applies a sense of security to him. And it's cool to see how it helps a cat like Glenn, where maybe if those skywalks didn't exist, he'd probably have a lot different. Sarge is looking through me like a glass window as the caretakers are watching me here. Kathy Silva, that's a great point too, pointing out how you can hardly see Glenn, as it's just so wonderful to see that bobcat camouflage in action. And this is Sarge here, as you can tell, getting excited. He's focused. He sees one of our animal care interns, Riley, going up to the building. He's got some indoor enrichment. So there goes Sarge inside. You can see Morgan following in behind him. It might not be food time, but they still know who's who around here. And they know who's the chatterbox with the cell phone and the camera, and they know who are the superheroes with the enrichment and food. Yeah. Oh yeah, mister. I know. I'm gonna go around the corner, and I want to see if perhaps we can see Bruno, Fiona, or Lloyd, or maybe all of the three. Not the coldest out, but is a little kind of dreary. There's some mist, some rain earlier, so wouldn't be too surprised if those three were taking advantage of their indoor bedroom. But regardless, we'll check in and see what's happening. Let's see here. I see Bruno and his shadow, truthfully. Please don't give out on me. Hey, Mr. Lloyd. Good morning to a handsome man. Lloyd Savannah, F1 Savannah, lives with 2 African servals. You have Mr. Bruno here. Bruno's kind of giving me the same treatment that you saw Sarge. He is looking right through me like a glass window. The clamoring of caretakers, fences opening, them nearing this direction, little activity near the indoor buildings, all makes for excited cats. I always like mention of Lloyd was doing a little talking, pretty similar dance of anticipation. I was trying to hush up for a moment because Lloyd was getting a little chatty. I'm getting chatty for food. Can I kneel down, mister? He says, I don't know. Oof, man. Well, you know, everyone, I think with this live post today, I am going to opt for quality. Hey, Mr. Lloyd. I want to opt for quality over quantity. So if the internet's going to not cooperate here, and like I said, it looks like they're about to feed Wildcat Pines, so I'm going to be missing out on cats either way. But I think I'm going to, like I mentioned, invoke the rule of quality and not quantity and wrap up this live post now, as the internet's just being a little fussy with us. So I appreciate everyone's patience as always, and even more so I appreciate all that you do for the rescues here. We have been talking lots about the deCAThalon, and if you've been under a rock, you can find all things deCAThalon and how you can join in on this special monthly Pride promotion from now until February 1st. So thanks again for everyone's patience, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Wednesday.